Hello. I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know if I have the energy to make a full plan with me video. I was thinking of just cutting down this stream and posting that as the plan with me, if that's okay. Personally, it's been a couple of really hard weeks for me, so if I seem kind of like low energy, that's why. I can't get into everything yet, but it's been really hard. I also had surgery, so that was a whole thing. I'm feeling fine now. I'm feeling good after the surgery. So physically, I'm doing better in terms of my health. I actually haven't even explained like what the surgery was for, so if you're confused about what the surgery is for, don't worry, everyone in this chat is. Nobody in this chat knows. I did get knocked out. They put me on anesthesia. That stuff is crazy. I swear I blinked and the surgery was over. I've never done like a dandelion theme. Not like the yellow dandelions, but like the white dandelions that you blow in the wind. And I think it's very fitting for this month. Something about those little things have always been like, I guess, healing.
Okay, so for this theme, I'm actually using black paper. I took some pages out of a black notebook that I had, and I made sure to rip it from the center of each booklet so that I had these foldable pages, and that way when I glued them together, they kind of created this mini booklet within my notebook. And that way I don't need to keep gluing black pages to my white paper. So the reason why I did this is because I wanted to have a black background so that I could create the white dandelion seeds, you know, those fluffy things that everyone makes wishes on, and I just wanted to use a white marker for this. So for the whole theme, it's only with this one white marker, which is a Uni Posca, and I thought it would really pop against the black. I really wanted to do something simple and easy for this month, just to take it easy on myself, because like I mentioned, there's been a lot going on.
I mean, I know for me, it's been a hard week, like I mentioned, physically, with the surgery, mentally, emotionally. So I don't know if like Mercury's in retrograde or something, but something's been happening in the air, you know?
As you can see, I'm drawing almost like little forks at the end of the spikes. It almost looks like a firework a little bit, and that's how I doodled the dandelions.
Wait, this is actually a very relaxing thing to draw. I heard Boys Planet. Everyone tell me the thoughts. I think I have withdrawals because at one point, I feel like it was because Boys Planet Peak Time were all happening at the same time, and now I don't have any of them. So now I have like nothing to watch every week. Like I loved having like a little show to watch every week. By the way, sorry if it's confusing that I'm switching back and forth between the stream dialogue and my voiceover. I wanted to keep some moments from the stream in, but I didn't know how to like merge this format with my voiceover. Anyway, please do let me know your thoughts on those shows if you watch either of them, because I am so invested. These are just the types of things that we talk about on stream while I'm bullet journaling, because I can't always explain what I'm drawing, because I feel like a lot of times it's pretty self-explanatory, so we always end up talking about a lot of things. Guys, I'm going to my first friend wedding. I feel like that's how you know you're getting old, is like when you start getting invited to friend weddings. I don't see it as getting older. I'm in denial and I'm like, people getting married so young. I love it. I love the self-denial. This is my first friend wedding though. Like, I don't know the protocol. What am I supposed to bring as a gift? I don't know what to wear. I don't know, like, I'm like stressed about it, to be honest. Back to the spread, as you can see, I drew 3 of the dandelion flowers, and I also outlined some leaves at the bottom as well, just to add something a little bit more. And then I wanted to make it so that some of the little fluffy bits were floating across the page, so this is where I drew them going up towards the top right page. And like I mentioned, the little fluffy bits are kind of like you're drawing a fork. I
I don't know, like stick hands. I don't know how to describe this shape, but I drew them all in different directions, and I also wanted it to be like across both spreads, so that's why I had them going down to the bottom left as well. And on the left side is where I ended up writing out a quote. Oh, and then for May, I just used a little cursive lettering style, very simple, very easy, and I feel like it looks pretty elegant looking in general, so I really like the way that this cover spread turned out. And actually for the quote, I ended up asking Stream to choose a quote for me, so thank you to the person who suggested this quote.
Okay, what quote should we put on this side? Make a wish and leave your worries to the wind.
Can you paint with all the colors of the wind?
It's a lot like the ocean, a lot like the wind, a lot like the stars. This sounds like those Facebook moms trying to encourage someone. She moves like leaves in the wind, dancing everywhere to her own music. Listen to the wind blow. Watch the sun rise. Number 1 or number 2, guys? Number 1, wherever the wind blows. Number 2, make a wish and leave your worries to the wind. I think I see more 2s.
We did end up going with quote number 2, which says, make a wish and leave your worries to the wind, which I felt was very fitting to this cover page and worked really well with this theme. So I wrote that out using my marker in just like a cursive-y, italicized font. Ice cream chillin', chillin', ice cream chillin'.
Are you gonna erase the pencil marks? I always forget to erase the pencil marks because in person I don't really notice them, and then I always like look on my footage and I'm like, girl, they're so obvious on camera, like why don't you erase them? I like the look of like sketches underneath final drawings. Something about it, I feel like it makes it look like more dynamic.
After my little ice cream break, I started on creating my monthly calendar layout, which I did pretty simple, just using the horizontal lines in the calendar.
Are you flexible because of skating? Literally no. Like the thing is, all of these things that I did, I wasn't that good at. Like to like the layman, I might seem like I'm good at skating, but any figure skater, like the video that I posted on Instagram of me figure skating, any actual figure skater who watched that would know that like I'm actually not that good. Guys, what music have you been listening to lately? I feel like I've been having a dry spell of music. Oh, what dramas? Any dramas you've been watching recently? Keita, good question. Because I've also had a dry spell of dramas. So let me know. What have you guys been watching and listening to? I've actually never shown like my music collection, but I collect a lot of like vinyls, albums. They're all of them are at this top shelf here. I don't collect as much anymore. I used to collect a lot more, but I definitely had a big collector's phase.
Anyway, at this point, I did stop streaming, so the rest of these spreads I did off stream, so we're just gonna be chatting in this voiceover for the rest of the video. Anyway, for this calendar, I drew another dandelion on the right side because there was some space. By the way, the spacing for the boxes are 5 by 5, except you can't really see because again, I only used the horizontal lines of the calendar because I wanted it to stay within this like minimalistic theme that I've done. And I drew the dandelion seeds floating upwards around the top part of the spread. And that was it. it for my monthly calendar spread, and moving on to the trackers. So for my mood tracker, this was actually inspired by a tracker that I've done, I think it was in 2018. It was a while back, and it was for the firework theme. But the reason why I thought of it is because as I was drawing these dandelions, it reminded me of the firework doodles, except, you know, you draw the little spiky things at the end. So I drew 31 of those little stems, and on the ends of each one is where I'll be drawing the little spikes. I don't know how to describe these. It would help if I knew the exact term, but basically the number of those little spikes, like how full each stem is, will represent my mood. And then for my habit tracker, I went ahead and drew all my mini calendars using my white marker, and for this I just had 3x3 calendars to track my moods. So I created a white label at the top, which is where I'll put the habit that I'm tracking, and then underneath is the calendar shape, which is where I'll fill in whenever I'm tracking my habit. To fill in the space at the bottom, I drew another dandelion with the fluffy things floating, connecting to the part from the mood tracker next to it. So I thought that was a nice way to continue it. Again, pretty simple in general. The spreads weren't anything super complicated this month. For this spread, I wanted to create a playlist spread because I actually haven't done a playlist spread in a while, and as I mentioned at the beginning, since it has been a little bit of a hard month for me, music has definitely helped me heal. It's always a source of healing for me, so I love creating Sad Boy Hours playlists. They're like my specialty. So for this, I drew out some rectangles, and at the bottom, I wanted to draw a hand holding a dandelion, almost as if like someone's holding it before they're blowing out the little fluffy bits. So I actually literally posed my hand next to the spread, and I drew based on my own hand, and then I drew that dandelion blowing at the bottom. And in those rectangles, I wanted to create almost like a Spotify interface where I would write out the songs that I've been really loving for healing for this month. My actual initial plan was to sketch out the album covers for each songs, but then I realized there wasn't enough space to write out anything at the bottom, so I ended up writing the artist name in the square and then the title at the bottom. Some of the songs you can read them if you want. And then this spread on the next page is actually a packing list because I will be going to New York City next month, which is super exciting. I haven't talked that much about it, but I will be in New York City for most of the summer, so that's gonna be kind of fun. I have never been in New York City for over a week, so if you guys have any recommendations of things to do, restaurants, all of that for New York City, let me know because I am super excited. Okay, and then finally we have my first weekly spread. Again, keeping it very simple. I have my weekly events taskbar at the side. Sorry, not taskbar, events bar on the side, which is where I put my events and appointments. And then I just divided out the spread for the days of the week. This is like a very classic old school AmandaRachLee layout, if you guys remember. And the reason why I went back to this layout is because as I was doodling these very simple doodles, it really did remind me of when I was bullet journaling back in 2017, 2018. So I kind of wanted to revisit certain layouts that I haven't done in a while. So in the bottom part is where I doodled some of those dandelions, and then I had the dandelion seeds floating up towards the top right. Anyway, here's the final flip through of my May 2023 bullet journal setup. Again, I know it's pretty simple. Some of you might be disappointed that there's not as many doodles as normal this month, but again, it's been a very hectic time, so this is my realistic setup. Don't think you guys understand how much I appreciate you guys being here. Definitely been going through it a little bit, so be patient with me in terms of the content. It's been an interesting time for my life, so I just really appreciate anyone who has stuck around. I want to tell you guys everything, but there's just so much that
I feel like I have to do it in like a video or like in a voiceover for the plan with me or something. So anyway, and thank you for hanging out with me. I love you guys and I really appreciate you. I hope you guys are doing okay. Sending you love. You're doing amazing, sweetie. And I'm gonna go watch Yoongi videos. Bye.